Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. The main ingredient is Judy, and happy Testimony Tuesday. I got another one for y'all. Man, if you like this kind of content, give this video a thumbs up and share this video with somebody who may need it, okay? I also I enjoy engaging with you guys. So be sure after you view the video, leave me some comments. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to definitely reach out and respond to you guys. So today on this Testimony Tuesday, I'm going to talk to you guys about how the Lord has brought me out of codependency. I was codependent, very codependent, and didn't realize I was codependent until really I didn't realize I was codependent until after divorcing my husband. Now, before I get into that, I do want to say this. I need to start off by thanking God. God has been good to me. God has been with me. God has spared me. God has covered me, and He has kept me. And for that, I am extremely thankful. I'm extremely grateful. He has been very gracious to me and shown me great mercy over the years, even up until this very moment. And I gotta let y'all know that I'm here because of the Lord, because I know I've been through a lot of stuff. And I ain't strong enough. I have some heavenly help to be before you all today, okay? So let me go ahead and make sure he get his glory, because he is due his glory for sure, and he gonna get it out of me every chance I get. So moving forward, I I was thinking about my last video I dropped on Testimony Tuesday, and I was like, man, what else can I talk about that I know God brought me from? And He definitely brought me from codependency, right? I didn't, like I stated before, I really didn't. I didn't know that I was codependent until after divorcing my husband. And the Lord, He sat down with me. I sat down with Him, and as usual, He began to deal with me, because we healing from a whole bunch of stuff, and in the healing journey, it's messy. In the healing journey, it's not funny. It's not fun. It's not easy, but we doing the work over here. So He revealed to me that I was codependent, and I had to initially, I'm like, codependent. I like to think of myself as a pretty independent person, because some of the things that I had to deal with, I had to figure a lot of stuff out on my own. So when He brought it to my attention that I had codependent ways, and that I was definitely codependent, I had to really marinate and sit on it and figure out, well, how, why. And it really started again. It really started pretty much immediately after after losing my father, right? Because as far as my family dynamic is concerned, my family dynamic, it was me, my little brother, my mama, my daddy. That's us. My mom, her family, her mother was adopted. So when she was growing up, it was her mom, her dad, until they divorced. Her mom and dad divorced, and then it was just her, mom, herself, and her little brother. It was the three of them. My daddy come from a big family. He's number 7 of 10. And then he grew up with like a whole bunch of cousins. They grew up, I would call the way they grew up like communal. They grew up like on top of each other because there's a lot of brothers and sisters. Then there's a lot of cousins and all this stuff like that, right? So I grew up around my daddy people because my mama people from like, they're not from Illinois. Grew up around my daddy people, you know, his sisters and brothers, my cousins off their side and things like that. And I had realized I was codependent because I felt like I felt like the people that I was connected to, like I needed them, and I felt like I needed them because after after my daddy passed away, I was going through, okay, and during that time also, my mama would kick me out of the house. Okay, I would cut up on her, right? I'm a teenager. I'm mad. I'm angry, and I'm also still like a girl. uh, going through the, you know, adolescence and things, hormone changes, boys, whatever. Got a little brother, he on my nerves. Sometimes she on my nerves. So I'm just literally growing up, going through the motions, and also coming with a little extra baggage because I'm hurt about my dad. So I would cut up on her. Never physical. I never put my hands on my mama, but you know, I would definitely have words with her. They weren't so nice because I was mad, because I was hurt. Um, Certain things that I felt like she didn't understand, or try to understand because she wasn't really there. She was just more focused on providing in a financial way. So that was where her focus was. And me and my brother was pretty much left to our own devices and figuring out life. So, um, you know, I'm cutting up. She getting upset. She don't like what I got to say. She put me out. Me and my brother get to arguing real bad. She put me out. Um, like she put me out a lot, like a lot. I remember I was still very much still in high school, and there was a period of time I stayed with a friend in high school. Um, it wasn't very long, but I stayed with her. Still went to school. That was short lived. There was a time I had to stay with a couple of cousins because my mama put me out. And I mostly got put out a lot, really, um, because me and my brother argued a lot. We did not see eye to eye. Probably I would damn near say we didn't even like each other for a while. And I can't tell you why. The only thing that makes sense to me during that time that we would, you know, we verbally attack each other, physically get in tussles here and there. I think we were both um, expressing a lot of pain and hurt and misplaced pain and hurt um, regarding our dad. And my mama wasn't really there like that to really, I don't want to say take it out on her, but take it out on her. We was in each other's way. We was in each other's face. We was, you know, nitpicking and teenaging with each other in that way. Stuff go left. He say something, I say something. He throw something, I throw something. I won't say we you know wrecked my mama house. We definitely wasn't that bad at all. We didn't wreck her house, but we get at each other nonetheless. And for whatever reason, if my mom felt like she couldn't manage things, she managed to put me out. Okay, so I done stayed with a friend. I done stayed with a couple of cousins. I done stayed um, with a couple of aunties, even. A couple of them. I didn't stay long with them neither. They put me out. Why? I don't even know. I was working. I wasn't, being disrespectful to the house or whatever section of the house I was given. I stayed in it. I, cleaned up behind myself. Like, I'm a teenager trying to figure out how to. I was still going to school. I was going to school in the suburbs in high school, and I remember like the southwest suburbs. So I was staying in the southwest suburbs, still going to high school, getting put out. I remember staying with a cousin who was all the way in like Aurora or Naperville at the time, and she and her husband would get me to school, back and forth to school for a time. Not cool. I remember staying all the way like in the South Shore area. Um, having my cousins teach me how to take the bus all the way to the southwest suburbs, still going to school, going to work. It was a mess. So the codependency came because my mama, she didn't want to deal with me. She didn't want to deal with me. She didn't know how to deal with me. She put me out. So I'm codependent with, the family members that I had grew up around. Um, we moving in a communal like way. And, in my mind at the time, these people were like my refuge. I think in my mind at the time, I thought they understood, what was going on with me and doing their best with what they had on top of their own lives, on top of their own kids, just making a little room for me where they could. And, be having to be rely on somebody else, and that can mess with your self-esteem. And I'm very much still growing up and trying to come into my young adulthood, young womanhood, if you will, just literally trying to figure life out. And I'm literally like bouncing from this house for a period to this house, back to my house. Oh, she done got mad at me. I gotta get out again. I gotta call this auntie. I gotta call this cousin. I still gotta go to school. I don't even know how. I don't know how to end up dropping out. You know how to end up dropping out? Because there was a time. There was a time I considered dropping out of school and going to get my GED. One of the last times when I could emotionally take it, I went to go see my daddy at the grave, and I was struggling. And I told him, I made a promise to him that I was going to get my high school diploma. That's the only reason I didn't drop out of high school. Because I was definitely finna do it, and I was definitely going to take a GED program somewhere. Because life was lifing for me. Codependency will definitely relying on others and feeling like you have to, I don't want to say cling, but cling is the word that I have. I had to cling on to what felt safe because my living situation was unstable. So, I'm depending on others. I'm feeling a certain type of way. I'm even performing a certain type of way because I'm like a teenager living in survival mode, trying not to get put out again, trying to still go to school. Um, Man, it was trippy. Um, you know, being codependent will have you operating in unhealthy ways, unbeknownst to you at the time, um, because you're just in a state of like uncertainty. So you know, you clinging to people. You're prioritizing the needs of others because you can't get a handle on your own stuff. Your own stuff is out of order. And you don't have the answers, but you have the answers. Um, or seemingly have the answers for everybody else's stuff. So because you're struggling, kind of feeling useful in your own space, you make yourself useful in other people's spaces and their situations, um, because that's how you keep going. That's like your motivation to feel like you're needed, to feel like you're wanted, um, and to ease the blow of some feelings of abandonment. Um, because yeah, that's another video. Yeah, codependency can definitely be in place because you have a fears of abandonment. Because I already had a sense of feeling abandoned, honestly, when my daddy passed away. I don't have a covering. I don't have my protection over me. I don't have a male to guide me. And in my case, still whoop my ass when needed. Because my daddy did not play that. My daddy didn't play that. Did I get butt whoopings a lot? Mm-mm. But when I got them, they were warranted. They were needed. They was earned. My daddy used to say, give you an inch, take a bow. I did. And he made up for it with the butt whooping. Okay? So yeah, you know, I had be I had suffered from codependency because my life was so unstable for a time. Um, I was literally surviving and relying on others and being there for others and needing them to be there for me so I could feel like I wasn't going through what I was going through alone, even though I was like people were around and present where they could be, but I was still alone. I was still very much alone. Um, yeah. So, I mean, the codependency was so bad. The codependency actually led me to ending up is a part. It's a part. It's a part of the reason why I not only um, ended up with my ex-husband, but why I extended our time together for a period because I was supposed to leave sooner, but I didn't because I was used to his presence. I was literally just used to his presence. It was comforting knowing he was around. I continued relationships with family members for a time because I was used to their presence, even if their presence wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't even that their presence was fulfilling, their presence was familiar. That's it. Codependency will have you staying in situations that are unhealthy for you, that will be draining, that will leave you frustrated, that will leave you feeling depleted. But you're so codependent, you're used to that every blue moon text, or now you're texting, you're initiating texts, you're initiating calls even when you can tell like the communication is off. You're not really sure why, but you just literally used to that familiarity of, being able to reach out and communicate really on their terms, not necessarily yours. Um, yeah, I was codependent like real bad. And I know that I was codependent because I was scared to be alone. I was scared to deal with things alone. It's as simple as that. I was scared to deal with things alone. And even being in whatever proximity said person, whatever the proximity was that was offered to me from whoever, the ex-spouse, my mom at times, other friends and or relatives, I would literally just accept that because it was just like, well, as long as you're there and or I have this feeling like you're there, then, I'm good. But really, I wasn't good. I wasn't good at all. Because when you codependent, everything is really more important. You put everything above you. Everybody is more important than you. You prioritize other people and helping them because you frazzled about your own stuff and you trying to feel useful because your own personal situation is not allowing you to feel like you're of use, but you are. Just because the people around you are not appreciating you does not mean that you're not useful. You just need to change your environment, and you need to get with yourself, and you need to figure out the hows and the whys concerning your codependency, because being codependent is unhealthy. But for me, for a great period of time, my codependency was my life. It's as simple as that. I don't know how else to explain it. Codependency was my life. I needed others in the space, in the emotional space, in the physical space. When it was healthy, when it was unhealthy. That's all I knew. That's all I saw. That's all I was around. So I didn't really even know that there was a real problem until, certain stuff started happening. And I still didn't pick up on it right away. It took a minute. And then, you know, when I learned that I'm operating in codependency and I need to break ties, I did with great hesitancy. Because, anything that you are coming to the realization about concerning yourself, that's hard. Anything new that you're confronted with, that's hard to go out and do something new. Like in your head, like, oh yeah, I want to do something new, whatever it is. Like when it's more adventurous, like it's more like, oh, let's go try this new restaurant. Of course, like, yeah, that's like a no-brainer. Let's go out and eat. Let's go try this new, place. Let's go do this event or something like that. Okay, yeah. But something new concerning like working on yourself, coming against old ways and old versions of walls that need to come down in you, man, that's scary. That's a challenge, but it can be done. my codependency walls were knocked down, and I had to face the reasons why this happened. And the majority of these relationships that I held dearly to was due to me being codependent and being afraid of really being left alone. I was afraid to be left alone. I was afraid um, to have anything trigger me to make me feel like how I feel when my daddy passed away. But I was still triggered because people was doing stuff to me that was like, you around me, you in proximity of me, and you doing stuff. And real talk, I was still alone. And that's the jacked up realization that I had to come to. You doing all this clinging, you doing all this prioritizing of others, you trying to, even maybe in some instances, maybe even some people pleasing. Because you don't want to be alone. You don't want to feel abandoned. You don't want nobody to abandon you. You want people to support you. You want people to understand you. So you overcompensate in areas um, to genuinely help them, because I'm a helpful person like that. So I won't say I was being disingenuous, but I was definitely in areas laying things on a little thicker than probably needed, because I didn't want to get left. I didn't want to get left. I didn't want to get abandoned. I didn't want to feel alone. And the whole time, guess what? Alone. That part. I was still alone. I was still alone. Yeah. So I am glad that I have made it to a space with the help of the Lord and with prayer to overcome codependency and not rely on an individual's proximity and or familiarity to keep me in a space where I know I don't belong, and I'm not being like treated right. This is like, I don't even know what else to say. I have overcome that. That was not an easy journey. That was not fun. Um, and some of the things that kind of played into that, like the extra realizations, like the memories of certain things happening and having those aha moments and those light bulbs going off, like, for real? Okay. That needed to happen for me. When you're in relationship with people, when you're in community with people, it is not wise to latch on and or cling to people um, due to any poor experiences that you may have had. It's not, because for real, you'll still be left feeling empty. There's something that's still always going to be missing. So I encourage you to do the work that is necessary so that you don't have to be codependent, and so that you can truly live in your freedom and live in your independence in a healthy way, and then you can connect with people in a healthy way that won't leave you feeling drained and depleted and feeling, like you're in a one-sided situation, people pleasing. Yeah, it's trippy. It's a little trippy, but you can make it. You can do it. You can overcome it. I did with the help of God. That's what I have to add. That's my testimony today. I overcame codependency. Proud of myself, because it was kind of deep. I didn't realize it, but it was kind of deep. But I'm better now, and I hope you'll be as well. I will see you guys in the next upload. Talk to me in the comments. Like this video. Share with somebody who may need it. And y'all be blessed. I'm going to bed.